Good morning, students. We had studied about prehistoric man. Now we'll study more about the early man and the basic needs. So let's get started. I hope you all can see the screen. So as I have made a short presentation, I would like to share with you. Old Stone Age. Hammer and axe heads were the weapons used by the early man to cut trees and kill animals. If you can see in the image at the right side, the man is using different type of tools and weapons to kill animals and protect himself. He lived in groups to protect against wild animals and enemies. So he used to live in groups and he used to, take care of himself by protecting himself from animals in groups. He used leaves, bark of trees, and animal skin as clothes. So these kind of clothes he used to wear, like for example, leaves, okay, animal skin. If you can see on the right hand side, the man is wearing an animal skin. During this time, the early man discovered fire. This wildfire frightened the animals and the early man. So slowly he started rubbing the rocks and the stones together, and he understood there is something called as fire, which can scare the animals away. Gradually, he found that when two stones are rubbed against each other, sparks of fire are produced. So that is how the fire was produced, and that is how the early man took an advantage of it. He burnt leaves with the sparks of fire. Slowly, he started understanding that he can burn leaves as well with the sparks of fire. If you can see, two people are sitting together. The early men are sitting together, and they're trying to make fire from the rock and other material which is available to him. Protection. He then used this fire for cooking meat and protect himself from the wild animals. So he then started using this fire and he used to try to scare away those animals, and he used to cook uh, from the fire, okay, with the help of the fire. This discovery of fire led to the development of human civilization. So slowly there was a development of human civilization with the help of fire. If you can see in the image, that is how the early man started using his things. So we'll just take a quick recap about the discovery of fire. Discovery of fire was a milestone in development of human life. By rubbing the piece of stone against another piece of stone, human discovered that the process creates fire. From this, human learned burning fire and cooking food. So if you can see in the image, that is how they learned how to, use the fire as well. So I'll give you a short summary. They also started using fire for saving them from wild animals and to keep their bodies warm during cold. Discovery of fire made their life easy. If you can see on the right side, the image shows that it is very cold, and that is the way they are, using fire and keeping themselves warm. And on the left side, they are trying to scare an elephant from the fire. Now we will understand what were the different tools used by the early man. For hunting of animals, they used stones, bricks of trees. Early humans used hammer stones to strike stone cores and produce sharp flicks. If you can see in the image, these were a different type of stones which were used on the right side. They used these tools to cut, pound, and access new foods, including meat. So, for example, if they want to cut the meat, cut an animal, then they require something very sharp, right? So that is the reason they started sharpening and polishing the tools as well. Middle Stone Age. The early man's stone tools were polished now. If you can see on the image is very funny. But if you can see that, the kind of tool which he is using, it is very sharp, right? So he made sharp tools using animal bones and horns and used them as weapons for hunting. Then he started using these weapons for hunting as well. Now in this image, we can see that how the tools were polished by the early man. Like he's just trying to use all the different techniques which he can. Now I want to share the tools time chart with you. This chart shows when some different kind of tools were made. So like pebble tools and choppers, then early hand axes, later hand axes and blades. So these were different tools which used to make his work easy. Yeah, so this again other this is a picture of various tools used by the early man. Like some are very sharp and some are tilted. So these are the kind of tools which used to help early man. So thank you for listening very patiently, students, and I hope you have learned a lot. Thank you, students.